Christian rap fell off. Now, if you guys have never heard of the artist Derek Minor, he has been in the game for a long time. So just recently on his IG, he posted a video of where he was talking about Christian music, or Christian rap, I should say, has fallen off.
Tell y'all why Christian rap fell off? Honestly, we was ahead of the curve in a lot of ways, in the sense of we had took a niche and we hyper-focused on that niche. And marketing, that's what everybody is doing now. At one point in time, the whole industry had rallied behind the 116 crew. And I'm talking about, this was cross crews. This was the whole niche was like, yo, this is where we going. This is who we choosing to take us there. That's what's going on.
Now, I'm actually a product of the 116 movement. In fact, when I was traveling, anytime I was traveling, if I saw a 116 sticker on a car, immediately I was like, yo, that's my dude. That's the homie. I'm sure he could pray for me right now. I'm sure he would ride it out. Like, it was weird. It was weird if I thought back on it, about how just because I saw somebody with 116, that immediately we were on the same level. It was a huge thing.
That powerful moment was what literally gave me my career and a lot of other people's careers. And honestly, that's what's missing right now.
Now, I'm not sure if he's saying what's missing right now is the fact, and this is what my assumption is that there's no longer one major unit. I'm going to get back to that here in a second.
Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of crews and they doing amazing work, but the problem is the niche is really, really small. It's hard to rally that many people together.
That part right there, it's hard to rally a lot of people together, but I don't think it's because it's small. I don't think that's what he's saying. I could be wrong. I'll give my thoughts here in a little bit.
Cause yeah, yo, videos may be going viral, etc., but who you gonna go on tour with? How many times people gonna want to see the same crew tour over and over again? It's not exciting no more.
Now, I don't know if it's not exciting anymore because you need more crews or more people, or to only have one specific crew like he was talking about is no longer exciting because you get bored of hearing that one crew. I don't think it has anything to do with one or multiple crews. I have a little bit more, just again, stick around.
And that's why things fell off. But the beauty is, this isn't the end of the story. All you got to do is work together. Drop a comment and tell me if I'm lying.
We do have a small niche. And at the beginning of the video, he said, hey, marketing has said you really want to hit a specific niche. And that's true. I think, however, though, it's got nothing to do with the size of crews or how many people or whatever the case may be. I really think it has more to do with how music is consumed now. Now, I'm only saying that because at least back then, even with it being on CDs and just turning into MP3s and all that stuff, at least I was able to digest an artist, a group, a collab, whatever, for long enough period of time before the next record came out. Now, I know it's something that a lot of older generations are saying, and the reason why it's a lot harder for someone to really blow up or for a movement to really rally around, I think one of the reasons is the fact that you are constantly being tossed out multiple artists a week, multiple songs a week. I don't know about you, but I almost get tired of trying to keep up with it. Even as a DJ, I'm having a hard time keeping up with a lot of that stuff, or I should say being interested enough, more than just saying, hey, here's the new record. Also, what I think on the other side of it is it's no longer the generation or the era of a one crew thing. In fact, I think it's beautiful, like he was talking about. It's beautiful that there's all these different groups and they're all doing great things, but that's also the con, right? The pro of Christian rap or CHH or just music in general and the Christian culture being able to grow because everybody's able to not just consume music faster, but then also able to create music faster. There is a beauty in that, but I think the con of that now is there is so much. It's really hard for a person to really care about an individual or a group if there's also like 5 other groups. And then the solo artist that you already enjoy is now grouped up with somebody else. And so now you're in that camp. However, if I'm thinking about any other sports as well as basketball, the reason why I care more about the Warriors now is because Curry is still there, because Klay Thompson is still there. And so now even with Durant and other teammates at that time are no longer on the team, I don't really care about those players before, like I did before. And just to kind of bring this back together, my whole thing about the artists, and in the space that we are all in, rather it's the Christian hip hop or just Christian media in general, I don't think it's because we are not able to rally people around it. I am more concerned of the fact that we are not able to unify into one theology, into one group, into one anything. Unlike professional sports, as long as you got one in the area, it's a lot easier to come together. There are now multiple avenues. Just like our interview with Miles Minnick, where he was talking about using his influence to be able to impact for the gospel. Just got done talking to Aram not too long ago. He lands in a similar place that I would say that I land, which is it's not an and or binary decision. It's more of an and both, where there needs to be multiple lanes. However, what I really think is causing more issues about being able to rally around a group or artist or whatever are comments like these. Comments like this is probably the most irritating thing for many of us who understand there's more to it. There is nuance. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just read it together. Nah, it fell off because most of the Christian rappers, you like those air quotes, Christian rappers, stopped making Christian rap and started making feel-good music. Feeling good is not Christian? What? Feel-good music and motivating rap. Motivating rap, motivation is wrong. It's not good. It's not good to motivate somebody to understand that there's a better life than what they are experiencing right then and there. Just because they didn't say Jesus, but they're at least pointing and trying to take somebody from a direction of which that they were, and took God out of the music to gain a secular fan base. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell you enough as to how comments like that are more divisive. And I'm not saying you are not entitled to your own opinion. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's helpful or beneficial to post that. I'm not saying that by posting that, you've now somehow motivated somebody somewhere to go, you know what? They're right. Let me just talk about Jesus in everything I do. And let me not ever affiliate with anybody in the music space that is not Christian. Now, I am being a little bit over the top. However, that's just how I feel. I'm not saying that person probably doesn't have more of a holistic mindset. That would be my assumption. That'd be my hope. I'm not here to bash by any means. However, comments like that, I mean, just the comment alone of saying that they took God out of the music to gain a secular fan base. I don't know how you can make a comment like that and assume that that's somehow going to motivate some Christian artist somewhere in this space to be like, you know what? I want to serve them. That is the kind of person, the kind of comment that I want to represent as my fan base. At least I can say, if they do think that way, if an artist would think that way, there'd be some red flags. I'd have some concern. I don't think that the Christian space is unable to grow or thrive past the size or the impact that it is now. I have very high hopes for it. In fact, I feel like with everybody, all these different Christian content creators and everything going on to these different platforms, I think there's going to be a greater opportunity for the gospel to be spread. But I will say, as long as we continue to be divisive, rather by topic, by conversations, whatever the case may be, we are going to have a harder time to call out to those who are not of the faith and say, hey, join our team. We don't act like a team. We don't function with a team mentality. We don't have team goals, but we got Jesus and we're not going to hell. The space of which that we are in is small. The goal here for Oxen Brand Music is on one side for the artist to be able to have a platform to be able to speak about not just their music and promote their music, but also share their hearts and how they are functioning within their life using their music. On the other side of it, for the audience, is a possibility to be exposed to artists, rather well-known or not so known, but also to have conversations and topics that aren't always being had on a lot of these other music platforms. Amen to what they do. And that's exactly what I think is beautiful. Again, the pros and cons that we were talking about earlier. The pro is everybody's able to do their own thing. The con is we're all doing our own thing. So now some people, like myself, may feel oversaturated with all these different things. And like the sports team reference that I was having, I'm no longer going to follow a one banner thing. I enjoy this speaker. I enjoy this podcaster. I enjoy this artist. I enjoy whatever. So I'm going to follow them. Nothing wrong with that. So the working together that Derek was talking about, I 100% agree. But what does that look like? How does working together actually help? Because there's a lot of people who we've even interviewed where they talk about, yeah, being able to be on a song with somebody or having somebody on a song with you is great, but then there's no more communication. There's not even cross-pollination of their audience sometimes. If you want to support an artist or a movement of some kind, support it. Support it as much as you feel like the Lord has called you to support it. Financially, okay, prayerfully, honestly, for all of us, anybody who is in front of the camera, anybody who's on stages, anybody who's constantly being put in a place where they're able to get reaction videos and everything else, prayer is huge, financial is huge, but at the end of the day, just assume the best. Assume the best in a person, assume the best in a culture of which is young. It's still very young. And that's not a pass by any means, but there was no blueprint. Up until Lecrae, nobody had any idea how to access any other opportunities. Were there people like KJ52 and many others who were opening those doors? Yes, absolutely. But Lecrae and timing and God broke those doors open. And so now we're able to have the indie tribes. We're able to have all these different RMG artists and now the Bay Area is starting to blow up with the Glow Nation and all these different, like, that's fantastic. That is great and I think is awesome. But to say that it fell off, I don't necessarily know if it fell off. I just think the times that we're in now is so different that now it's about how do we share as Southside Rabbi said, the codes to one another. I'm not saying you got to share it with everybody all the time. Yes, relationship, yada, yada, all this, that, and the other. But there's an episode on Southside Rabbi, and I'll have the link below because I really want you guys to check this out. So if you're an artist or a promoter or anything of those in that sphere at all, I highly recommend this episode. Or if you're a consumer and you just want to know what your favorite artist is going through or has gone through, or your up-and-coming artist might go through. I think it's a great podcast that would be super beneficial for all parties involved. And of course, if you're brand new here, make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button. And if you've never been a part of our Twitch streams, we have a Twitch stream that we do called MixMondays, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, but then we also do pop-ups as well. Make sure you guys are following us there. Follow us on all social media accounts. And honestly, what we really want to know is what do you, as the consumer or the artists or everything in between, what do you want to see more in the Christian culture space, the content Christian culture space that is not already here or has not been presented enough? Let me know down in the comments, and be sure to click over here if you want to know a little bit more about either your favorite artist or your soon-to-be favorite artist. As always, grace and peace. Adios.